Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for Chelsea's biggest game of the season. Champions League, Real Madrid versus Chelsea. It does not get bigger than this. Even a semi-final against Bayern Munich and Manchester City is not talking in the same category and calibre as Real Madrid. This is going to be the biggest test that there is. This is also going to be one of those matches where Real Madrid probably will never have been such standout favourites against Chelsea in a knockout game because, quite frankly, Frank Lampard, he's not been the man so far, has he? We've seen one game against Wolves, he's come in, the club is an absolute mess. We've been talking FFP worries, losses game after game, we can't score goals for love nor money, and we're asking ourselves here to go to Real Madrid and knock the European champions, the guys that have won this more than anyone else, out of the competition. However, crazier things have happened, you could argue, although I do think if we do actually manage to win this tie, that would probably be the craziest thing that I've seen from Chelsea Football Club. Even Barcelona, 2-0 down, John Terry sent off, Ramirez chip, Fernando Torres rounding Victor Valdez. This would top it. Looking at how dominant Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid can be, they somehow managed to surrender a lead to lose at home to Villarreal at the weekend, so maybe Chelsea are playing them at the right time. But when I watch Chelsea play right now, there is not a right time for anything because, quite frankly, I don't see where goals come in this Chelsea team. If we take what we saw from Frank Lampard's shape, Frank Lampard's lineup at the Molineux, then Chelsea will not get anything if we stick with what Frank showed us in that first game. The four at the back system was finished in terms of Chelsea's chances after the 3rd minute of the game. I could see it, you lot could see it, the 2,500 comments in my last 2 videos saw the same thing. Chelsea with a 4 at the back, we do not have the personnel to beat Wolves with a 4 at the back, let alone the best club, the strongest club in Europe. It is not going to happen. So in my lineup today, we have reverted back to a 3 at the back, and I pray that Frank Lampard has seen what we've all seen and will just swallow it and say, it's got to be 3 at the back. We've got to try and give ourselves here the best chance to have a chance in the second leg. If we go there and lose 4 or 5-0, this Chelsea team are not good enough to do a Barcelona against PSG. They're not good enough to do a Liverpool against Barcelona. That is just the straight up facts of what we're dealing with this season. So, Chelsea will not reach the top 4 in the Premier League, and within a couple of weeks, that will be mathematically factual as well, because I don't see where we're picking up results in the Prem. The players have got to be up for this game. Frank Lampard has said it himself. If you're not up for a game against Real Madrid in the Champions League, don't turn up. And I absolutely agree with him. The biggest issue I think that Chelsea have in this, and even if we play well, this will be the reason that we lose. All of these players are one booking away from missing the second leg. And when you read it, almost all of these are in my starting 11. Kepa, Reece James, Thiago Silva, Koulibaly, Enzo Fernandez, Conor Gallagher, and Mudryk. That is 7 potential first team players that are 1 yellow away from being suspended at Stamford Bridge. Reece James, Enzo, Thiago Silva, our 3 best players. Real Madrid have been told to go more intense on those players on a yellow card. With the way that Chelsea have been playing, we are asking here for a total 180 in confidence. We are asking here for concentration bigger and better than any of these players have ever done before. And I'm talking as well, Enzo will have to be better for Chelsea than he ever was for Argentina to win them the World Cup. That is the kind of level that Chelsea need to reach to knock Real Madrid out of this competition. Is it possible? Absolutely. We have got some phenomenal talented footballers at this football club. At the moment, my biggest reason why I don't think we'll win it is because we're not a team. That is the summary. There are so many underlying issues that we have, but as I said before, crazier things have happened. Chelsea in this competition, we turn it on. Against Dortmund, we should have won the first leg and we came back and did it in the second. Different kettle of fish here with this Real Madrid team, but without any further ado, I am going to pick my 3-4-3 Chelsea formation, Chelsea team that I think can go to Real Madrid, and this is me being honest here, and keep us in the tie. This team, I genuinely think there's enough there that we could see goals again, which I know it's stupid because we just can't score. But we scored 2 in the last Champions League game. I'm literally clutching at straws here, aren't I? But we begin with Kepa in goal. If you're playing a 3 at the back, you don't just bring Mendy in after being out for a couple of months when you're asking your goalkeeper to sometimes play with his feet. Edouard Mendy, with the ball at his feet, sometimes lets it almost run into the net, like we saw at Old Trafford a couple of seasons ago. So I don't want to see that. Kepa, been questionable in recent weeks. We're not entirely convinced by him. Rumours are Chelsea looking for a new goalkeeper, but he's got to stay in the team, in my opinion, for this one. A back 3, Thiago Silva, will he be ready? That is the question. He's back in full training, as is N'Golo Kante. And this is what Chelsea are playing for here. We are literally, our season is being defined by this game and the game the following week at Stamford Bridge. Fofana, Silva, Koulibaly. This is the best 3 centre-backs that we have at Chelsea Football Club right now. Wesley Fofana, in Thiago Silva's 7-game absence, has absolutely risen to the task. He's been one of the shining lights in Chelsea's awful, dreadful form. If Silva is fit enough to be in full training, then he has to play. This is the kind of match where you need leaders. Chelsea have lacked leadership. That is why we're not a team, because just like John Obi Mikel has said, there is no one in that dressing room that he was. Essien, Makelele, Lampard, Drogba, Ashley Cole, Terry, Cech. There isn't anyone out there like that right now, but Thiago Silva is. And Thiago Silva loves the club. He is one of the most consummate professionals you could ever ask for to wear your team's badge. Fofana's been brilliant. Koulibaly moving to the left side of that back 3. He's got the experience as well, and we need him to have the game of his life. He's never won the Champions League before, and he's going to have that added impetus to try and knock out Real Madrid. Moving in to the midfield, or wing-backs midfield, 5 at the back really, Chilwell and James. Reece James versus Vinicius Jr. has been one of the most entertaining matchups that we have seen in recent seasons in the Champions League, because Reece James has done very, very well against Vinicius. But this season, he looks like he's upped it again. And with Reece currently struggling for form, and I think a lot of it is down to that scare of the reoccurrence of an injury. Does Reece want to be the bombing forward player all the time? Does he have the confidence, not just in the mental side of things about how Chelsea are playing? Is the physical body confidence there to still be able to be that dominant attacking threat with the risk of injury constantly being so severe? I don't know. And he's going to have to be at his very best defensively in this one. And then as we go forward, we're going to have to take every opportunity that we can, which is why I'm so concerned, because we know that if Reece James gets a chance to put the ball in the box once a half, it's got to be perfect. And he's got the capacity to do it. And that is where Chelsea can win this game, because the fullbacks for Real Madrid, not necessarily the strongest players. When you look at the midfield of what we've seen from Madrid, always super tight, super compact, strong. And then as you move into that front line, Karim Benzema, best striker in world football, and everyone else around him is absolutely brilliant as well. You've got different passing abilities, different ways to run at players, and the intricacies of some of the movements and combinations that Real Madrid come up with are mind-blowing. Reece James and Chilwell with Kante and Enzo Fernandez in the middle. Once again here, we are keeping our eyes firmly on the bookings. Chelsea need to be so careful. If Chelsea don't have Enzo at Stamford Bridge, we are seriously with our backs against the wall. Even if we're already with our backs against the wall here, if we get Enzo out, if Reece James doesn't make it to the second leg, Silva, Koulibaly, when we're looking at these players here, 5 of them, and we've not even gone into the attackers yet, 5 of these players on the pitch right now in my preview, they are one booking away. And I think Chelsea will have to be inch perfect in every single position to win this game. But with Kante in the midfield, in the Champions League, we have seen just how brilliant this man can be. And I think Chelsea in the midfield, if we win that midfield battle, this is where we beat Real Madrid. Kante needs to be back to the N'Golo Kante of 2021. Enzo, just keep doing what you've been doing, mate. And we just got to hope for the best here. There's so many times in this video, I'm like, I'm about to get excited. I'm about to get confident. Got to bring it back to reality. I cannot be too confident for this game whatsoever with what we've seen so far. Moving into a front three, and this is a gamble, and it is probably a gamble that I don't expect the manager to go with. I've gone with Havertz, Felix, and Mudryk. From what I saw from Raheem Sterling the other day, I'm not confident whatsoever. I would argue that Havertz was even worse. But in these big games, Chelsea are going to need to be a bit more dynamic. And I don't think Sterling is willing to do a lot more of the dirty work that we sometimes see Kai Havertz doing so well. Havertz can get back. He wins the ball back. He covers a lot of ground. And we just need him to be a little bit more useful when it comes to closing players down. I said it in the game against Wolves. He starts the run when he knows the other player's already got control of the ball. It's too slow. Chelsea need to be on it in this game. And I think in terms of the work rate, that is why I've picked Havertz over Raheem Sterling. It looked as though, to me, Sterling don't want to be there. That's what I saw against Wolves. That's my opinion. And I do think that sometimes in these kind of games, Havertz knows that Chelsea need players to step up. And even though I'm not confident with him right now whatsoever, I can't put him through the middle. That's why I've put Felix in the middle. It will probably be Havertz through the middle. Let's be real. We've got to see this for what it is. Chelsea don't have someone who's going to put the ball in the back of the net. Aubameyang has not played enough football for me to think that Frank Lampard will start him in this game against Real Madrid. I think he's going to go with the players who have got match minutes under their belt. Aubameyang off the bench to change things. If we can't see any fruits, can't see any chances created, don't get shots on goal, we've got to give that everything. And if it's Danny Carvajal at right back, Mudryk will give him an absolute nightmare. He will not want to be facing Mykhailo Mudryk. We could see Mason Mount on that left, but I just want to gamble with Mudryk. I think the odds are so firmly stacked against Chelsea here that I think even though we've got to be tentative with those players that are on a yellow card, I think we've got to try and start well. I think if we can still be somewhere level by half-time in this first leg, then we can use the wealth of experience in this squad and the size of the squad to manage the game. Frank has got to get this perfect. And I think this team that you can see on the screen gives us the best chance. I'm so nervous for this one. I've got to admit, I very rarely come into a match preview and say I think Chelsea are going to lose, but I'm trying to keep it real here. The Wolves game just knocked the wind out of my sails. To be honest, I'm not confident whatsoever. But if Chelsea put in a good performance and lose 2-1, I think we can still look forward to that second leg and think there's a chance. There is a chance. Real Madrid score, absolutely 100%. If we can get a goal, if it's 1-1, amazing result. If Chelsea draw this first leg, phenomenal. Away goals don't count anymore. We've just got to knock this Real Madrid team out, even if it goes all the way to penalties. Let's just go for it. This is it now. We have got to be careful. And for Frank to be in the job less than a week and face Real Madrid, it is going to take a masterclass to beat Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid. But 2-1 Real Madrid's my score prediction. Let me know yours in the comments down below. I'm nervous, but we've got to believe. Otherwise, there's no point in this season whatsoever. Let's believe, let's hope. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Come on, you Blues.